So you think you know what a travel agent does? Well, I guarantee it's a lot more than just booking flights and hotels. We're about to dive into the surprisingly complex world of the modern travel agent, from navigating some pretty dense legal codes all the way to embracing the high-tech future of travel. Let's get into it.
Seriously, if you picture someone just clicking a few buttons to book a vacation, you're in for a big surprise. The reality is this incredibly complex web of legal rules, insurance requirements, and, of course, customer expectations that are changing all the time. So let's peel back that curtain and see what it really takes to make it in this business today.
Okay, first things first. Before an agent can even dream of planning that perfect getaway, they have to know who they are in the eyes of the law. So what exactly is a seller of travel?
Check out this definition right from California's legal code. It is incredibly broad, and that's on purpose. It's not just about selling a ticket. If you even advertise that you can arrange travel and the trip costs more than $300, you're on the hook. This wide net is there to protect all of us, the consumers, from any funny business and to make sure anyone handling our travel plans is held to a really high standard.
But of course, the law also carves out some really important exceptions. The actual carriers, the airlines, the cruise lines themselves, they aren't considered sellers of travel. Same goes for a hotel that gives you a free shuttle ride from the airport. These distinctions are absolutely key because they draw a clear line in the sand, defining exactly where the travel agent's legal responsibilities begin and where they end.
All right, so now we know who legally qualifies as a seller of travel. The very next step is figuring out how they protect themselves and, just as importantly, their clients. And that brings us to the crucial and, honestly, often misunderstood world of insurance.
So how does an agent make sure they have the right coverage? It's definitely not as simple as just checking a box. There are 4 essential steps. First, you've got to get a copy of your host agency's master policy. Second, you need to read it, and I mean really read it, paying attention to the fine print. Third, and this is probably the most important part, get an independent insurance agent who actually specializes in travel to review it with you. And finally, based on that, you can explore all your options to make sure you have the best possible coverage.
This quote right here just hits the nail on the head. It points out a huge pitfall in the industry. So many agents just assume they're covered, but what does adequate even mean, right? Making an assumption about your insurance can be a costly, even a business-ending mistake. When it comes to protecting your livelihood, doing your homework isn't just a good idea. It's absolutely everything.
Okay, so the agent's business is protected, but what about the most important person in this whole equation? The customer. Let's talk about the safeguards that are in place to protect their hard-earned money.
In a place like California, travel sellers have 2 main ways to protect their clients' funds. They can either keep all passenger payments in a special trust account with super strict rules about withdrawals, or they can get a bond from an insurance company for the same amount. Either way you slice it, the goal is exactly the same, making sure the customer's money is safe and sound.
But what happens if a travel agency just goes out of business? That's where this restitution system comes into play. You can think of it like a giant safety net designed to protect travelers from losing all their money if their travel provider suddenly has to close its doors.
And we are not talking about small change here. California's Travel Consumer Restitution Fund aims to have a balance of $1.6 million. That massive safety net is funded by every single registered travel seller in the state, which ensures that consumers are protected if things go south.
Here is a quick break. If you want to master the digital marketing secrets to grow your travel agency business and get hundreds of leads, I've created a complete step-by-step guide, which you can download for free from the link in the description box. Now, let's continue.
So we've laid all the legal and financial groundwork. Now, let's get to the really interesting part. The people who make this all worthwhile, the travelers themselves. Because the modern agent isn't just a booking machine anymore. They're a curator of experiences, and they're serving a whole new generation of travelers with very different wants and needs.
First up, let's meet the ethical traveler. This is someone who wants to see the world, but they don't want to leave a big, messy footprint behind. They're asking the tough questions about their carbon emissions, and they're actively looking for eco-friendly options. For them, a great vacation is one that's not just beautiful, but also sustainable. To make this real, let's imagine a guy named Stan. He is so committed to being green that he literally uses an app to track his eco-impact, and he earns a cryptocurrency called KindCoin for his sustainable choices. So for Stan, a vacation is his reward for living that green lifestyle, and he needs a travel agent who totally gets that and can help him plan a trip that really aligns with his values. Next up, we have the cultural purist.
Now, this is not your average tourist who's happy just checking off a list of the top 10 sites. No way. The cultural purist craves authenticity. They want to dive deep, to really immerse themselves in a new culture, and they avoid those rigid minute-by-minute itineraries because they want space for genuine, spontaneous discovery.
This image just says it all, doesn't it? The cultural purist doesn't just want to see the ancient ruins, they want to feel the weight of that history, to hear the whispers of the local mythology. They're looking for a connection that goes way beyond the surface. For a travel agent, that means you have to become a storyteller, a cultural guide, a facilitator of truly unforgettable moments.
So, the big question is, how does an agent cater to these brand new types of travelers while still juggling that whole complex legal landscape? Well, the answer, more and more, lies in technology. Let's explore the cool new tools that are empowering the agent of tomorrow.
Yeah, the travel agent's toolkit is getting a serious upgrade. We're talking about AI assistants like Nina that can have a normal, casual conversation with the client. Social apps like Travel that can connect you with locals who share your interests. And these incredible audio tours like Detour that turn a simple walk through a city into an immersive story. These are the tools that are totally redefining what's possible.
And trust me, it gets even more sci-fi than that. Get a load of the Pulse Wallet. It literally lets you pay for things with an infrared scan of the veins in your hand. Just imagine a world where you can board a plane, check into your hotel, and get into a VIP lounge, all with just a simple wave of your hand. That's the future, and it is a lot closer than you might think. This quote from a business traveler really says it all. One button, and boom, everything is taken care of. The ticket's in your inbox, the itinerary is in your calendar, every detail is perfectly synced up. Look, this isn't some far-off fantasy anymore. This is the new standard of convenience. It's what every traveler is starting to expect.
But here's the kicker. All this amazing tech, it's just a tool. It can make things faster, easier, more efficient, for sure. But it can never replace the human touch. In a world that's getting more and more automated, high-quality customer service and a genuine human connection are actually becoming more valuable than ever. The best travel experiences are always going to be that perfect blend of high-tech and high-touch.
So, what does this all mean for the future of the travel agent? Well, as technology starts to handle all the boring, repetitive tasks, the human agent's real value shines through. It's not about booking a flight or filling out forms anymore. It's about creativity, it's about empathy, and it's about the unique ability to turn someone's dream into a reality. In a world of algorithms and automation, the most valuable asset a travel agent has is their humanity.